Welcome YouTube, and it's time to Melange with Mufas. Welcome YouTube to the very first installment of Melange with Mufas. My name is Asa'ah, and I'm here to mix it up with my favorite ladies and gentlemen to start off your week. Now, a little about me. I am Cameroonian and American. I love sports, I love adventures, I love challenges, and that's part of the driving force behind this channel. Now, just to give a little backstory before I describe what this channel is all going to be about, over the last 3 years, I made it a point that every year I was going to pick out 4 things at the beginning of the year of things that I've not done and things I want to accomplish. The first year, as you can see, I did publish, I made it public, and I was able to successfully accomplish all those things, and I was very proud of myself. But the one thing it did show me is that you can do anything you do set your mind to. So with that, I did the same thing the next year. This time I did not publish myself. I made it more private. There were a lot more like personal stuff that I wanted to achieve, and I did accomplish those things. And so, you know, with success begets success. And so with that, I knew I could set myself for higher goals and better goals. And so this year I do have another list, but I have not published it. Although the one that I am deciding to share and make public is the one that is the driving force to make this channel. I have always been enamored by Mandarin Chinese characters. I have always been enamored for as long as I can remember. And even when I was young, I remember thinking, I wonder what it would take to learn this. Now, I've decided that that will be one of my goals, that starting this year, for as long as I breathe, I am going to every day practice Mandarin to some extent until I can become very good at it. And part of how I plan on doing that is creating this channel that will help me be accountable in terms of regularly putting out content to document my progress for where I am to where I posted last to the next time. I do practice every day, morning and evening, and so I'm hoping that as I do this day by day, step by step, I will get to a point without even noticing that, you know, I'll be able to speaking Mandarin out here. So as I mentioned before, the reason why I'm doing this channel is it's more so for the fun of it, for one, but it's also a lot for accountability. I believe that if I put out regular content out there for everyone to see, no matter the number of people, it will keep me accountable in terms of having to make sure I do regularly put out content, you know, for everybody to see my progress and for me to see my progress too. But also I'm hoping that in some ways, if, you know, if there's any language that someone's ever wanted to learn, if you can see this video, you can know that, hey, if I can learn a language, you know, or if I can begin to learn a language, you can too. So I plan on posting twice a week, Monday and Friday. So that's the start of the week and the start of your weekend. How do I plan on achieving all this? The first thing that I plan on doing is I have 2 applications that I'm currently going through. The first is Duolingo, which has a Chinese course in it, and the second one is Hello Chinese. As you can see, I've already gone through a couple levels for each of them starting the beginning of the year, so you can see my progress in both apps. I would say Duolingo is okay, and for using a new language, I kind of had to use it, but Hello Chinese is remarkable. In another video down the line, I'll definitely go through all the different features in each of them, and you'll see why I think that Hello Chinese is levels better than Duolingo. But given that's a new language for me, I do plan on going through the entire course for both of these. The second thing that I plan on doing is going through stories and texts. Now, Hello Chinese and other applications have you know, options for different texts and stories with different difficulty levels, from beginner, intermediate, expert. And so I do plan on, after getting some vocab and grammar and everything down, as well as getting a lot of the characters down, I definitely plan on using these texts to build my reading comprehension, learning more characters, and getting familiar with just seeing a bunch of characters at once. Because I did try going through one of the stories one time. I was like, ooh, okay, let me get my foundation first before I even try to start hitting it. But that's the next step I plan on taking on this journey. Following that, the third thing that I want to do is have a lot more dialogue. Once I feel I'm very comfortable with my foundation, Obviously, speaking and being able to look and read are two totally different things. And I believe it is probably the same in Mandarin. I know for English and French it's the same thing. And so what I plan on doing is having a lot more dialogue with people who can speak Mandarin, whether they're of Chinese origin or not. And so I think with that, I'll be able to learn to speak and listen very comfortably. And finally, if everything goes well according to my timeline, about 1.5 years from now, I plan on going to mainland China and staying for 6 months. With everything, we all need immersion. For any language, you need immersion. And I think that going to mainland China will be able to help me fortify all the skills that were within my foundation. And just being the pressure of it all, I think will really push me to really get my Mandarin up to where I think it needs to be. As you can see, I've already made some progress. And I would say the one thing I've noticed that's very tough, especially if you're used to languages that, English, French, is the tones. When you have words like ma, M-A, which can be said in 4 different ways, which will have 4 completely different meanings, or the word S-H-I, sh, that can be said 4 different ways and have 4 completely different meanings, it's very tough to sort of get your ear used to and processing like, okay, this should mean this should mean this, grabbing the context at the same time. It is very difficult, and obviously with other videos I'll show exactly what I mean. But with that said, comparing to English and French, which I can speak, I would say Mandarin is definitely easier than both. It doesn't seem so because, it's very foreign, and in the structure, the letters, everything. But having to learn it and not having to worry about conjugations, not having to worry about plural, not having to worry about a lot of the stuff that you have to worry about in the structure and vocabulary and grammar with English and French, I would say it's much easier, and I really look forward to this journey of learning Mandarin. Now keep in mind, for all my videos, I really don't plan on learning to write. For one, I can't draw to save my life. So there's no way I'll be able to pull off Mandarin characters. Just there's no way. I'm not even gonna try. But I think the reading and writing part will be fine. I've noticed I am able to recognize characters even as nuanced as they can be and as similar as they tend to be. So I don't think I'll have a problem with that. That being said, I plan on posting twice a week, every Monday and every Friday, to start off your week and to start off your weekend. And so I'll share all the things that I feel like I'm getting good at, all the things I suck at, all the things I'm working on, just everything. And so you'll be able to see me as I progress through all the pitfalls, all the highs, the lows, and everything. And I hope that you'll be able to enjoy the process as much as I am going to enjoy it. With that said, I really look forward to mixing it up with you guys in the next installment of Melange Mufas. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Take care.